The weird thing is, this film is 2 hours long. The musical is at least 2.5 hours, and this movie felt longer than the musical. I've seen both, and the musical felt shorter. And this wouldn't have been a problem if they'd have just taken the moment to be like, this is the end of our story, tie a bow on it, happy ending. Wait, there's more. And it's like,
I think they were just nervous about the movie audience getting thrown by that, because
you see, what cares? You got them in the seats already with the advertisements.
I can see what they were going for, though, with the quick switch, because they're like, all right, we're setting you up to believe that this is where the movie's coming to a close. Like, all the parents are starting to shift in their seats, pack up the lunches, and, you know, all the lunches. I don't know. If you have a massive pause, it might take some of the energy out of that switch. Because, like, there's such a tradition of fairy tale movies having this cliche ending that they really wanted to kick you in the balls with we're not.
And I think that's probably a bunch of Disney's interference with it, because Disney knows how to handle the fairy tale part of it. The Act 1, the Act 2 felt like they had to kind of have to have this in here.
It's like they felt a little bit uncomfortable with Act 2. And
they felt very uncomfortable with Act 2.
It's like it was either that Rob Marshall preferred the Disney version, or that the Disney executives made too many creative restrictions on him.
Because which is also very like, how did Disney get the rights to this?
They have money. They have more money than God.
I think they probably have the rights to all the characters too, like Cinderella and Little Red.
Well, you don't have rights to those characters; they're in the public domain.
Oh, right, yeah.
Going back to performances, though, you got the Baker's wife, which is James Corden and Emily Blunt, and they're both terrific.
James Corden seems very uncomfortable in musical land, a bit, but I think that works for the Baker, because he's not the conventional type of protagonist. He's not like a handsome prince or he's just a guy who wants a son.
Is it? I really enjoy seeing actors appear in multiple movies in a year, and Emily Blunt appearing both as the Full Metal Bitch in Edge of Tomorrow and as the Baker's wife in this is just like
it's just showcasing
awesome.
her range. She's terrific.
Yeah,
I hope she's getting more work. She is. She's brilliant. Her music's brilliant.
Like we said, the princes are terrific.
The princes are godly.
Meryl Streep. I feel that it's like
I loved Meryl Streep.
I really liked her. When I first saw this movie, I'm not sure I believed Meryl Streep was a witch. It's a weird thing. It's just sort of.
I had problems with the directorial decisions. Like, at one point she disappears by
Jumping over them, and the editing's so weird. She just falls in front of the camera and she's gone.
It was
You'll never see your children again.
I feel like the script was trying really hard to make her the memorable role. This is the show-stopping character. Remember that, and they just shove her in a lot of scenes that she doesn't frankly need to be in.
She's in that in the musical. She's the thread that ties them all together. She's the reason they come together. Also, there's a surprising amount of flashbacks.
Yeah.
Rob Marshall doesn't seem to know how to direct musical numbers that aren't in flashbacks or take place in a different scene.
Or in someone's head.
Then they're just like walking around like your fault. It's your fault. No, it's your fault. No, we'll walk this way. No, it's your fault. Some of it I started to get into when the camera started moving with them. I'm like, okay. But then the song I Know Things Now and the whole arc with Little Red and the Wolf played very Depp-like by Johnny Depp. He's creepy.
Oh yeah,
as
Johnny
hell.
Depp's in this movie too.
But he's
forgetting that.
In the two scenes he's in. He's rather he's rather fun. He's really swinging.
He's really creepy.
Yeah. Like he's looking at her and you're just like, God, that guy's a predator, which he's a wolf. But that's the metaphor. Whereas she doesn't quite. It doesn't seem like she's quite on the same subtextual bandwagon.
Yeah, no.
That he's on.
I mean, that helps when you cast a kid who's really, really young as Red.
But at the same time, you can have that in there. You can have like the whole like uncertainty about like what's going on. Whereas at the end, she seemed like, it is over now and I'm better. That number wasn't terribly well staged either. It was staged like a dialogue scene. It was just like back and forth.
I mean, that was a problem with a lot of the staging. Like when you shoot musical numbers in reverse shot, over the shoulder shots, not a whole lot of coverage or a lot of dynamic camera angles, you sort of undermine yourself creatively.
Yeah.
Because one thing I do love about Chicago, Rob Marshall's best musical, is that he uses...
One of three, the only competition being 9.
Okay. But he uses cinema to make the musical numbers pop. He uses editing, he uses camera work, he uses the choreography. It all comes together in like to make a musical movie, not just a musical. Whereas this one, the editing sort of sat back, the camera work sort of sat back, and everything sort of...
It felt a little lazy.
You did better,
Rob.
Yeah.
Don't hate me.
Yeah, I'm not gonna say Rob Marshall's terrible. I think like he did a lot better with this than he did in Pirates 4.
Well,
that's
yeah,
very, very, very faint praise, but
yeah.
At least he staged Agony well, and
Agony was
and like
gorgeous.
It's clear he got all the cast members to be very comfortable with each other.
Yeah.
But like
which is really weird. Okay, all the cast. This is an entirely like Anglo-Saxon white cast. Sorry, I rant about this a lot, but I'm not going to do it long. And there was one black extra.
Really?
Did you notice he was in the back of the carriage during the wedding?
Also,
And I'm
the
like, it's canon. There are people of multiple ethnicities in this fairy tale world.
That's what I thought when I saw the one Asian extra in Battle of Five Armies. Did you notice that?
I didn't know.
In Lake Town, in The Hobbit Battle of Five Armies, during like one of the shots where they're panning over the sick people, there's one Asian extra who's tending the sick. Anyway, getting off
Yeah,
track.
all I can say is, come on,
Yeah,
fairy
all
tales
of those.
represent the audience. We as filmmakers, we have the responsibility of making people's dreams something they could be seen and heard. Make the dreams for everyone. But it was a great cast, though. It was
A great cast of white people, but it was still an entire cast of white people.
And the special effects in this movie were terrible.
Oh.
There's a cow, reverse shot of the cow. It's not a cow, it's a CGI cow that dies. It just goes like,
I think the cow goes back and forth between CGI and real life.
But you can,
real cow.
it's so easy to tell. The giants are all hidden behind trees and the beanstalk. And they never have a full-on shot of the giants because
I mean, they're not CGI always. I mean, Frances de la Tour is in the movie, but she's obviously enlarged.
yeah, well, like in Harry Potter, except bigger.
Yeah. Why is it that she's the go-to casting for large woman?
Because she's really tall.
I guess so.
I mean, in real life, she is. She's like towers over Ian McKellen, and
Oh,
that's
geez.
something. To
That's
do.
impressive.
I might be wrong, but anyway.
That's hard to say. I don't even know how tall Ian McKellen is. He's always cast alongside hobbits.
He's slightly shorter than me.
Okay.
I met him.
Oh yeah, right. Yeah. The problem with this is that
It felt a little thin.
it didn't feel cinematic enough. It didn't have scope. It was very dialed back. It was very
Which is
small.
odd because much of it was in the woods, and there is scope to the world they have because it's all made of fairy tale worlds.
Anna Kendrick always seems sort of on the verge of smiling, but not quite there.
Yeah,
yet.
she's like, I'm almost there. Almost there. Anna Kendrick was so unbelievably charming in this.
Oh yeah, well,
she
she could just stand in front of the screen and sleep and be charming.
was charming in the Twilight movies. Like
Yeah, that must be really, really hard.
that's an uphill battle you're fighting. I mean, to be fair, she probably was very helped by the fact that pretty much everybody else around her was about as charming as a brick.
Yeah, but
But
Anna Kendrick can just, if it was just a
She's-
stationary shot of her foot, it would be charming. But she was having a good time,
yeah,
so.
I liked Anna Kendrick in this. And when I was watching the Cinderella trailer, I'm like, this Cinderella looked kind of boring. The movie starts, and I'm like, I like her.
Yeah.
She's good Cinderella.
Throwing way back,
Way back.
there's a bit in Act 1, Act 2 of the musical, Act 2 of the movie, Act 1 of the musical.
It doesn't matter. These people don't write screenplays. I'm assuming maybe they do. Maybe they're
But
gonna win the next.
Christine Baranski is in this movie as the
Oh, yeah.
as the
What else is she
stepmother, and she is absolutely terrifying. There's some bits of really pitch dark comedy that just sort of, well, pretty much highlight why they chose Christine Baranski for this role.
I
And
was looking at the time. We don't have much time.
we don't have much time. I
We're
was running out of power.
We're in 27
27 seconds.
minutes.
Oh, what?
I thought you said we only had 27 minutes.
We only have 27 minutes. How much time is left?
Sum this up quickly.
We're running out of
We're running out of time. We gotta sum this up. Good movie. Could have been great. Rob Marshall could have been a better director. Should learn some more stuff.
Yeah. If you
Other things. Recommendation. You'll like it if you love Sondheim, if you love music. It's not the perfect version of Into the Woods.
If you love Meryl Streep, if you love any of these actors, they will be fantastic. If you're
Yes.
a fan of Chris Pine and think he has it in him to be the next William Shatner, you
Don't
will
worry, he
fucking love
does.
this movie.
That's pretty much it.
Yeah.
Okay, well.
See you later.
See you later.
It was dramatic. I was turning off the light.